Welcome back. As you heard last week, we were invited into a spiritual life with God that follows a pattern, a life, death, new life pattern that's at the very core of our baptismal life. And as you were invited to consider, sometimes we have to let go of something or even stand apart to follow God's call or the journey into a new life to which we have been called. In the next part of our Easter story, we find Jesus' friends, his disciples, behind locked doors. Jesus is now the resurrected one, returned from the other side of death, and he appears to his disciples right there in the middle of their emotional chaos. He actually stands among them, feeling their fear, perhaps their sense of alienation from their own community, maybe even their fear and shame before him. Certainly their overwhelming pain and grief. And what does Jesus say in this astonishing moment? Does he chastise them for their failures? No. He says, "Peace be with you." It seems as though Jesus' greeting is actually enough to open the disciples' eyes, and they are then able to rejoice when they recognize him. Here I think we see one locked door being opened. When their grief, panic, and fear subside just enough, then Jesus takes a command and repeats the greeting, "Peace be with you." And then he adds, "As the Father has sent me, so I send you." Here we have a very unexpected commissioning to go into the world as Jesus did, to be compassionate healers and teachers, seekers of justice, bearers of the divine presence in the world. Jesus' command unlocks yet another door in their present and certainly for their future. And then there is the gift of breath, the gift of possibility. He breathed on them and said to them, "Receive the Holy Spirit." These words are reminiscent of all the earlier accounts in Scripture of the breath of God, accounts which tell us stories of life and possibility. Also, if you've noticed, at the heart of the baptismal covenant, a candidate answers the promises asked by saying, "I will, with God's help." Through baptism, in and through death and the promise of resurrection, we have the possibility of the Holy Spirit unlocking yet another door in our lives, again and again. This part of the Easter story can challenge us, can actually challenge what we think of as church, or even our call as baptized Christians. During this pandemic, we have all had days in our lives, perhaps even weeks and months, when we've lived in small, locked places. And in those locked places, we may have been confined by sadness, by fear, anger, suspicion, or even resentment. We may have even taken the key to our heart and locked the door for fear that we could not take anymore. Yet we know too well that when we and others lock doors, we suffer. We stay behind those doors because of fear, and that can lead to misunderstanding. When we do that, our life gets narrow, and we do not breathe as fully as we might. The house with locked doors can become too familiar. It can become a familiar place in which we feel some measure of safety and control. Yet we know that Jesus comes right through those locked doors to invite us back to the possibilities beyond the threshold. Jesus meets us where we are, but he never leaves us the same. He challenges us to be bearers of possibility. Be at peace. Go. Breathe. When we unlock the doors of our hearts, when we muster up the energy and courage to step beyond that threshold of our lives onto what might just be soggy ground, we're on our way to fulfilling the call that lies at the core of our life as baptized persons. This is not just a holy job. This is a vocation to which we are all called. Theologically, What distinguishes a vocation from the rigors of a job or profession is this: you have to die to enter a vocation. A profession or a job summons the best from you. A vocation calls you away from what you thought was best in you. It purifies it and promises to make you someone you are not yet. I think that's the best sense of possibility we can know and embrace. So here's a question for you to consider. When over the last year have you experienced a sense of being locked behind a door? Who closed and locked that door? What did it take to think about getting beyond that threshold? Have you experienced any new possibilities or challenges once you realized that there might be some soggy ground as we navigate Eastertide and a pandemic?